One which will be by Gaurav. So Gaurav, you can start sharing your screen. By in the meanwhile, I can introduce you. So Gaurav is a senior technical writer working with Red Hat. He will be sharing details about OpenShift and EAP product documentation. He is an avid writer who loves to read, converse, and connect. He is loving his career in this interesting and versatile profile. He has always been a person who thrives to learn, gain experience, and sincere at whatever he does. He has been using Antora for over 5 years and is currently using it daily to document many of those projects at Red Hat, his current organization. So, welcome, Gaurav, and thank you for pitching in. Over to you.
Thank you, Puneet. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's still morning and cold, windy morning here at Delhi. So, you all know about me. I work at Red Hat and I did not prepare any kind of presentation. I just have the doc portals with me, which are accessible to everyone. So, before going ahead with the doc portal, let me give you a brief overview about Red Hat. So I started working at Red Hat in 2021. I think it's already been 1.5 years. And what does Red Hat do? So basically, we offer open source software products for DevOps engineers and business uses. So like these softwares include storage platforms, middleware management solutions, um, runtimes, and whatnot. So all these are basically Linux-based offerings that we have, and I think that's about it. We are an open source organization. Our code is visible to each and everyone to collaborate, to enhance, and we are proud of that fact. And coming to this doc website, so as you can see, this is the documentation website, and you can simply type in any of the product names like Red Hat storage documentation, Red Hat runtimes, Red Hat cloud computing, whatever you want in Google, and it will give you the documentation link to that website. So the documentation website basically is categorized into two categories. One is you can have all the lists, or basically all the documentation at one place, and you can also basically browse through the documentation using product categories. So these are all the product categories, and you can browse through them, expand, and it will display all the documentation at one place, all the product documentation at one place. And over here, it's in the alphabetical order, like all the products that start from A, product documentation, products that start from C, D, and so on and so forth. So this is the basic website that we have. Nothing fancy, but it solves everything. It has each and everything that a customer needs, from the technical perspective, from the browsing perspective, and the easiness of the content navigation. So before delving on to showing you the exact the documentation that we have, let me at first explain the logic behind, or basically the content creation, content strategy that we have applied to all the products that we have. So basically, we work on five different methods, and these are kind of just a overview. The methods can be different for different products, but we try to follow these five different methods for each and every project to come up with a proper content strategy. So at first, we determine the target audience. As you know, that it's very important. If we are who the target audience is, if we know that answer, whether it's the developer community, whether it's some kind of individual users, enterprise solutions, whatever, there can be multiple type of target audiences. Before we start working on a product, we at first product documentation, we at first try to determine who that target audience is. Once we get that answer, we basically define the purpose of the documentation website, and somewhere in between we do have that empathy mapping, and then user stories creation, just a kind of overview like what all user stories that the target audience might or the user might like to have, or the flow of the user stories that they might want to know. So we define the purpose of the documentation, like what all things we need to include, what should be the flow of the documentation, and what all things we need to take care, like whether the documentation should have some kind of um, right pan help icon, or should the document or the product should display the context sensitive help. So these are all the decisions that we make, and then we create a content calendar. So basically we try to play a test match. We do not create a content calendar, say for example 1 year. I will strongly recommend to please don't ping in between, because I get a pop-up and every time my eyes go there and it breaks my attention. So what happens is, we create a content calendar, and it's not like we create it for 1 year or 6 months. It's like weekly basis or sometimes monthly basis. We create a content calendar. What does it include? It includes the proper creation of the user stories, the empathy mapping. We want to know the user in and out, the flow of the product or the feature flow. So all these things we try to discuss in those content calendars, and we set up multiple meetings to discuss those kind of things. Finally, once we have everything in place, the Jira board is created, we have user stories, we have epics, we have backlog items, we create the content. And then the regular content creation process is there, like there is review, there is editing part, reworking, and then again review, closing out the Jiras. And then finally, once we are done, we merge. We basically have this DocOps in place. So we have the GitLab repositories or GitHub repositories, and we work on Doc as a code concept. So basically, we create PRs, we have MRs in place. We merge the document into that main repository, and once it's merged, we use Pantheon, we use Jupyter, we have multiple tools to basically publish the documentation. So once it is published, it gets displayed here, and the thing that you are seeing on your screen. So it's the product documentation website, and it once we have published it using whether Jupyter or Pantheon, we just the system automatically picks it up and displays it here. There are multiple services running at the backend, and they pick up the latest documentation releases. Coming to the tools that we use, I have already given you a glimpse of that. So basically, we follow Doc as a code approach. So we don't have any kind of particular tool set. Everyone is free to use whatever editor they want. People at Red Hat use Visual Studio Code, they use Eclipse, they use IntelliJ IDEA, whatever editor they feel comfortable with, they can use. Some of them use Atom, some of them use like this Sublime Text. So it's pretty diversified when it comes to tools, or basically the editor. And then we have repositories over GitHub and GitLab. We clone them, we update those repositories, and create PRs and MRs. We go through the review cycle. There is a content review, there is a technical review, there is a QE review, and once the review is done, we take the approvals and merge the PR or MR. And then those things get merged with the main repository, and once it is merged, we publish it and it gets displayed over here. So this is the kind of brief overview of the tools that we use. It's all technical kind of tool chain. We don't have any kind of user interface. It's all using Linux and terminal based commands that we run to develop our documentation. Now coming to this product documentation website, as I have already explained that you can use it in two ways. One is you can list down in the alphabetical order and then you can categorize it. So let me give you an example of EAP. It is one of the products that is very famous. JBoss Enterprise. For as you can see from here, you can review the documentation and you can review the product info as well. So let me open this one. So once you click on that, it gives you all the versions on the left hand side, like version of the product. Currently, it's beta, 8 beta, and it will give you all the versions. Then you can select the categories. You can have languages. These are all the languages that the documentation is available on. And then you can basically select only release notes, or you can, if you want, you can select deployment documentation. You can select multiple categories. You need not to scroll through entire web page in order to get to your documentation. And then you have versions. If you want to look JBoss EAP for version 7.4, just click on 7.4 and it will display the 7.4 documentation. And it will include everything from release notes to minor patches, minor updates, major updates, install guides and quick starts and everything for that 7.4. Now let's go through one of the documentation. Let's see this. So, and yes, the available formats are, you can use either, you can review the documentation in single page HTML. I'll show you what it is, multi-page, EPUB, or you can altogether download it in the form of a PDF. So as it is available for everyone, you can also, if you want, it's your wish. If you want, you can go ahead and get the idea and look and feel or how the documentation is being displayed and how we work. So on the left, we have navigation menu item. And then in the center pane, we have this main content. And on the right hand side, as you can see, the language section is there. And then this is the format. So currently it is multi-page format. You get this next page button, and once you click on next, it displays this thing again, next topic. But you can use it as a single page. Everything will be available on one page, but this will have maximum scrolling. So just to ensure that the user do not have to does not have to scroll much, we have this in place, the multi-page, and it has other purposes that it serves. So this is the entire doc set. As you can see, everything is basically Linux based documentation, and all the commands will be listed here. And it's the migration document. So in case you have any kind of existing EAP in any of the systems, you can use the document to migrate it to a new system and upgrade it altogether. And then we have this focus mode, wherein the left hand navigation, the system hides the left hand navigation, and all you get is the documentation. The fonts also increase. So this is kind of a brief overview of the documentation that we have. Similarly, we have one product that is OpenShift. So over here, the documentation look and feel was different. So we do not have same look and feel for all the products or community driven projects. There are some products who have different look and feel. Say for example, OpenShift. Over here, you can see we have different doc. Links or documentation websites, and it's in different language. And basically it caters to the community that we work with, and it has all the things that a developer needs to know when they start with OpenShift, Kubernetes OpenShift. So these are the versions of the product, And if you click on any of the versions, say for example, if I click on 4.11, it displays the content for 4.11. And here the look and feel is completely different. So here, this is the look and feel. Here, there is a difference in the look and feel. But what this documentation can be accessed from here as well. But since we have a community first and upstream first approach, so we have this documentation as well. You can download it in the form of a PDF. It's completely available for you to do that, and then you can provide feedback. I'll talk about that in just few seconds. And then you can review the history altogether. This is the history, like what all check-in or what all code updates are there in the OpenShift documentation, or what all content the people have added to those documentation. So this is the GitHub repository, OpenShift GitHub repository. If once you click that, it takes you here, and this is the OpenShift repository from where the code is coming or the content is coming. So this is about it. And now let's talk about the feedback mechanism. Let me open any of the files. Let's see this. Okay, so for the feedback mechanism, what happens? Suppose I am a user and I'm scrolling through the documentation and I have a question on this. I do not see this submit button. So what should I do, or what shall I, what will be my next step? What I'll do, I'll just select it. Once I select it, it gives me, oops, ideally it gives the feedback, add feedback icon. It's not working here. Let's open a different guide. Let's go to 7.4 and let's check this one, migration guide, in the hope that it will work. I have made it a single page doc. I think I'm on the same doc again. Sorry about that. So I came again to this document. Let's go through this quick start for 8.0. Okay, it is taking me to this doc set. Let's open a couple of websites. Let's see if we are able to do that. It's the same. So basically, the functionality, I'm not sure why it is not loading, but it's same like whenever you have doubt on any of the steps, you just select that thing, and it will automatically display a feedback mechanism, like raise the issue, automatically display a raise the issue button, or give a feedback button, add your feedback, something on these lines. So this is how we generate the feedbacks, or the feedback to be precise. And what happens, suppose a user has a doubt on step 7, and user selects the place where they have doubts. They raise an issue. Once they raise an issue, it is automatically converted into a Jira item, Jira bug, at the back end, and it gets displayed in the backlog, Jira backlog. And depending on the severity, we have content strategists to determine the severity once the bug is raised, and the user also has that option to determine the severity level. So once a severity is determined, we pick those bugs, update it then and there, and push the changes, and it gets displayed in, probably, if the bug is small, all it takes is 5 minutes to update the documentation and rectify that mistake. So this is about it. I'm sorry I was not able to display the exact feedback mechanism, but that's how it works. Let's try it in multi-page if it works. Yes, oh yes, this is the thing. As you can see, this is the add feedback button. I was just juggling around and fortunately I got to show you this. So I had a doubt on this bullet item. I'll click on add feedback. Once I click on add feedback, it says that I must be logged in, because that's how a bug will be tracked, and that's how you will get to know that the bug that you raised is resolved. So there is a certain process in place, but this is the exact feedback mechanism that we have, and it's for each and every sentence. Add feedback. You can add feedback here. If you have doubt on why OpenShift is displayed here, you can add feedback here, and then everything is once if you are logged in, it will give you certain fields to fill in, and it automatically creates a Jira backlog, and it gets assigned to us. So that's about it. Thank you so much. Questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Gaurav. This appears amazing. And I especially like the feedback part where you can select text. So I do see a few questions. Okay, so let me just check. So Akash asks, how does it render to HTML? Does it use an SSG, GitHub pages, or something else? You are
So
on, yeah. Go ahead.
basically we have if we are say for example, if we are using Antora, so what happens, we document everything in .adoc files, ASCII doc. So as Antora is a publishing tool, it converts .adoc file to .html files. Similarly, we have Pantheon in place, we have Jupyter in place. So all these things, like the conversion from adoc files to .html files, these tools take care of that. If you use Antora, it will take care of the conversion. Pantheon or Jupyter, whatever you have. Sorry about that. And at multiple places, we have Jenkins as well. Using it also basically converts our .adoc files to the HTML files, and that's how we display it on the customer portal. Regarding the GitHub, at first let me talk about GitLab. So we have integrated Jenkins in GitLab just to review the output locally, and then we have webhooks in GitHub as well. So it's all kind of automatic. We do not have to worry about the conversion. It is the pipelines are there, they take care of each and everything, and we just have to follow the steps. Like once we are through the review, we will merge it. Once it is merged, we will go to the publishing tool, or whatever your product follows, Pantheon, Jupyter, Antora, whatever that is, and basically get it published. So I hope that answers your question. And
Awesome.
for the you have mentioned GitHub pages as well. So what there are certain doc websites which are internal to Red Hat. So for those GitHub, we do use GitHub pages. But since many of the people nowadays add CNAME file to those GitHub page to create their separate doc sets, so we do not go into that territory of creating CNAME files and giving some other URLs. But we do use GitHub pages to internally review our documentation for some of the products that we use internally.
Great. Okay, so we will take just two more questions. That's from Anindyo. So his question is about feedback mechanism, that he says that GitHub may be accessible for developers. So for non-developer folks who may not have GitHub access, do you have any alternative review mechanism to collect comments?
So, alternative doc review mechanism, yes, there is. Basically, if you have used Visual Studio Code or IntelliJ IDEA. IntelliJ IDEA has this kind of plugin wherein you once you document each and everything, and you can render it in the PDF format. You can download the PDF format without any third-party plugin. It's just available with IntelliJ IDEA. Once you have that PDF, just send it to the developers using emails, or you can basically, if you have a FTP server configured, just paste it there and give the link to the developers or your peers. So generally for us, the review takes place in GitLab or GitHub, because that's where you can track the changes, and you can track all the comments, you can track everything. But for the PDF and other kind of tools, Word docs and other stuff, we do not have Word docs. Sorry about that. For the PDF and EPUBs, you cannot track the changes. Once a developer has given a feedback and you have the documentation with you, you will again generate the documentation, and you will give the fresh set of document to that developer. So that's why we use those UI tools, GitHub and GitLab UI, to generally track the comments that we received, to close the comments, because there is a section wherein you can see all the comments that you worked, all the comments that got changed, because once you push the changes under the need the comment, it displays that the content has been updated for so and so feedback, and it's all automatic. So yeah, this is to answer your question. There is one question on Pandoc as well. We do use Pandoc, but it's 99%, 99.99% of the times it's just get all the things happen over GitHub and GitLab, and then we have editors in place.
Nice. So another part of the question is the PDF version is pretty neat. So is it Antura capability or do you use some other converter tool?
The PDF basically it's Antora do have that does or whatever that is. Antora has that functionality, and you need third-party plugins inside Antora. It's not Antora released that feature. You need some kind of scripts and other stuff, but the thing that we have used on our product documentation pages, it is coming from Jupyter and Pantheon. So it's a Pantheon specific feature, it's a Jupyter specific feature, and they have those mechanism in place wherein you can convert your doc sets to PDFs.
Awesome. So, okay, so we just have two more questions. We will take that. Next, other questions will be answered later. So Sandeep asked, who has designed the doc portal once the pages are converted in HTML?
I think I won't be able to answer the first one because I'm not sure who designed it. I joined on 2021 in 2021, so I'm not sure who designed it. But if whether I like it or not, yes, I like it because it's very simple. It is not fluffy. It does not include any kind of marketing language. It is pro user, and it only displays what you need to know. So that's one thing. And Puneet, can you please repeat the second part of the question? I completely.
Once the pages are converted in HTML, so I think what he wants to know is, okay, it converted to HTML, but maybe the doc design part he wants to know is who has designed.
So what is as you if you go through the product documentation, you will realize one thing, that all these are static pages. So if I get your question correctly, what is happening in the static pages, everything is dependent on the left hand navigation menu or the top end navigation menu. By navigation menu I mean the TOC. So if you have a proper TOC structure in place, or master.adoc or toc.adoc, whatever that is, wherein you list each and every thing. So once you have that in place, all the HTML files, once they get converted to HTML files from adoc, they are all combined and a user can access it using one platform. So it is basically driven from the TOC, because that's where all the links are, if I understand your question correctly. Sorry if I'm not.
Okay, that we can discuss later, but I think you have answered probably correctly. So we have two small questions. Let's get it quick. One is from the GitLab. What do you use to generate a preview? From the GitLab, what do
Okay.
you use to generate a preview?
So what is happening in GitLab? You have CI/CD pipelines. So suppose if there are two things, you can use Jenkins, you can use Antora. Let me give you an example of Antora because currently I'm working it and it's one of my favorite tools regarding all the feature that it offers. So in Antora, what you basically Antora is built on top of Node.js. So there is a Node.js CI/CD template that GitLab offers. Um, Use that template, edit it as per your needs. So basically, what CI/CD pipeline does, it CI/CD pipeline basically checks your documentation at various stages. At first, it checks whether it is converted successfully to .html. Then it checks for documentation for any kind of links, errors, and any kind of missing attributes. And then it checks for other stuff, other testing or doc testing, automatic doc testing, and finally it converts everything into GitHub pages, or sorry, GitLab pages. So what happens, all these things are visible in a log. Let me show you if I have GitLab, I believe. I think we can talk about it later. I have GitLab on my personal machine, wherein I have some kind of pipelines that I use to practice. But everything is taken care by CI/CD pipeline, from the publishing to documentation check to final result GitLab pages. Yes.
Okay, that's great. I think we have two more questions, but probably Gaurav, you can just type in the answers later.
Sure, sure, I'll do.
Yeah. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Gaurav, and it was a great session. Very nice to know about Red Hat documentation. Thank you. Okay, so we move on to our third presentation of the day, and that's about the documentation of Temenos. So we have Shanti Narayan, and Shanti is currently the Associate Vice President of Knowledge, Temenos India Private Limited, based at Chennai. So, Shanti, you can go ahead and start sharing your screen. In the meanwhile, I'll just introduce you. She is a thought leader with 14 years of experience in managing technical writing and documentation teams across various industries. She has managed and implemented strategic initiatives in documentation using cutting edge technologies, enhancing experience for product users through technology innovation and process efficiency. Thank you so much, Shanti, for joining us to share. And over to you.
Thank you, Puneet. Good morning. Hello and welcome to this conference. I'm Shanti Narayan, Associate Vice President, Knowledge and Documentation of Temenos. Temenos is a core banking product company which creates banking products for banks, financial institutions, and fintechs across the globe. We have a presence in more than 36 locations across the world. And as for my documentation team, we have a team of 25 technical writers, which includes designers, cloud architects, and Drupal developers at the moment in Chennai and Bangalore. We also have our presence in Romania, Hyderabad, UK, and US. The Chennai organization acts as a central hub to the entire documentation activity, which is managed by my team. So this is the short introduction about my company. We will quickly delve into the presentation. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, Shanti.
Okay, let's start the present. Now, before I actually delve into the demo, I would like to do a quick setting up of the context process where I'll just walk you through a couple of slides that I've prepared to understand what our journey was. So why did we have to venture into this documentation website? What was happening back then? So we had 25 years of technical documentation for core banking product, which was being authored out of Madcap Flare, which continues to be authored out of Madcap Flare, and it was already in HTML5 format. It was available in an internal server. It was zipped and packaged manually, and it was sent through FTP through our clients. So why this website? Why did we want to change? One, over 25 years, the content had become very heavy and voluminous. The content layout somewhere got bit unstructured, and the TUC became too tested. 25 years of writing documentation, you can imagine, from so many business people, technical writers. Obviously, we lost it. Accessibility and navigation were an issue again because of the volume of the documentation. Multiple products and multiple verticals. Over the process of 25 years, Temenos had acquired multiple products from various locations, which means the existing document, which means the new documentation was merged with the existing documentation. But to keep it all seamless, they were all merged into Madcap Flare project, or multiple Madcap Flare projects, which was stitched together to a master TOC manually, again, which was packaged and zipped manually. Searching content was taking very long because we were dependent on Madcap Flare search. So when we decided that we wanted to do a website, what were some of the challenges that we faced? Number one, irrespective of this new ambitious project that we were getting in, we still had to ensure business continuity, which meant that we were handling monthly releases. There were clients who are taking our product documentation, to whom we were contractually bound to produce documentation month on month. So the business continuity had to be ensured, and we had to expand our current team because we were working two projects in parallel, which is ensuring our monthly and yearly releases were all in place at the same time, migrating from the current documentation to the new website documentation, which means we had to ramp up the resources, including technical writers. We had to recruit designers, cloud architects, etc., to meet the requirements. And this project started somewhere around in June 2018, and the deadline that my management set in for a minimum viable platform or a minimum viable product was in 2020, aligning with our annual product release, which is a very prestigious occasion for Temenos. So, for someone in this kind of a background, where do you usually start? What do you do when you have to start this kind of a project? So, the first thing that some of us have to plan when we are getting into a project of this size is that you first identify what you want to do and fix your goal. Now, in our case, it was very straight that we wanted to move our existing documentation to a website from where it will be accessible to everybody in the sense to all the internal users who formed 70% of our community, some ease of accessibility to our clients and also our partners who are accessing the documentation. And then you break down the goal into multiple working aspects, especially in our case, since we were already dealing with a 25-year-old plus documentation of more than 100,000 pages across more than 12 products and various technological platforms that we had. It was not only about technical writing per se. So we had to break it down into multiple deliverable chunks, which we had to plan and work towards it, which I will be very briefly touching upon in the forthcoming slides. Then you plan the resources, the manpower, and the technical aspects needed to deliver this. From a management standpoint, all these things, when planned upfront, makes your life so much easier as you proceed. So now, how did I break down the various chunks of how we were going to deliver this project? The first part that we broke it down was the content. So from the existing documentation, we identified the various types of documents that we wanted to host on the website. And this was not only about migrating the existing documentation to the new website, but it was also about revamping and removing redundant documentation, clean up, and even rewriting to a big extent because it has been carrying on for a very long time. It was more of a cleanup exercise. So it is very important that in this process, the content and the essence of the content was not lost. So we worked with the product documentation, product heads to ensure that we have a very neat and a very predictable layout and structure. And we brought in some amount of predictability to the content design for the ease of access and navigation. Then we decided to position the one-time and cyclic documents strategically in the document, which means that documentation which went through regular releases were positioned in a way, and which were very rarely or once in a year updated were positioned in a way so there was clarity for the client to access it. Then we worked very closely with the product heads to ensure that the business ideas are not misinterpreted. The next part of the design aspect. While designing a website, it is not only about color, it is not only about ease of navigation, especially if you're opening your website to a third party, or if you're opening up your website to clients and partners. It is also about reflecting your company's design principles on your website, which meant that you have to procure your official fonts, logos, colors, themes, and images and resolution, everything from your branding team. So we are talking about one voice as Temenos per se. Have an intuitive design and ensuring content accessibility and navigability. We also allocated 20% of our design effort and real estate in the website to some amount of indulgences and color, which basically kept the user hooked on to the site a little longer. Sometimes technical documentation can become a little boring and drab. All of us know that. So we wanted to allocate 20% of our effort to frills and fancies. The next deliverable that we planned was the technical writing itself. So this forms the crux of what we were doing. We set documentation standards, styles, and rules, and we followed the MSTP guidelines for language and formatting. This was to ensure that we talk as one voice, even though we are delivering 12 different products as a website. We had scheduled peer reviews. Basically, this whole thing is about laying down when you start a new website, even though there was an existing website, we lay down a completely full-fledged technical writing process. In fact, I would suggest that when you lay out a process, if you're a CMMI based company, you register this process with your quality management team to ensure to ensure authenticity to the process. We put in a technical writing process, and we also registered that process with our quality management team, which ensured some amount of authenticity to our process. And then the last aspect was a technical aspect. You plan the platform on which you're going to host your website. It can be cloud, it can be internal. Decide on where you want to host your platform, where you want to host your site. Not necessarily that everything you do has to be done by the technical writer itself. In our case, it was not possible because we were having the core technical writing work was more than enough overwhelming for the technical writers. And we broke down this also into two parts, where there was some amount of one-time work which had to be done towards building a website, for which we took the third-party help like consultants and third-party organizations. And for some others, we recruited people where we knew that recurrent effort was involved. So not always you will have to recruit people en masse when you're doing a project like this, but you can take third-party help. Finalize your architecture and identify your software and hardware requirements. This is very, very crucial because building a strong architecture for your website forms the base of what you are doing. And over the years, you're only going to be adding up to your architecture and making the website heavy. So it is important that you have your architecture laid out and you use the right people to work that for you. And you plan your software and hardware requirements upfront so you know what you're doing. Plan automation wherever you need it, and add a cognitive search to your website. So most of us think that it is only no, so it is the effort is more concentrated about going live, but once you go live, there is always a recurrent effort. I'll just briefly touch upon the points that you should keep in mind after you go live, which is about ensuring that you continuously review and maintain and improvise your content, because this is what makes or breaks a site. Your content is the crux of what you're doing. Constantly allocate some amount of the technical writing and your product management's time towards removing redundant and irrelevant content. Periodically review your UI design, because when you do a website for the first time, it is very fresh, it is very colorful, people are very excited to come to your website. Over 2 to 3 years, the website tends to become a little bit stale once the users start getting used to your design. So my suggestion is review your UI design periodically based on feedback, based on changing market intents, the company's design policy. Add some color, add some change, make some changes to your UI design that will give a sense of freshness and color to the user and make them keep them interested longer. Make changes to design wherever needed. Install a feedback mechanism, collect data. This will help you measure the ROI that you have invested, and this will help you make meaningful decisions. Analytics and artificial intelligence is something that you cannot overlook today, because that is the call of the day. Make aware, market, and measure. It is very important to make such initiatives where you create a website, but what is more important, you tell people that you created a website constantly. uh, send mailers, send communication, keep talking with people who are using your website somewhere. It is okay if they set a rule to your mails, and if it drops into your mail, if it goes into a junk folder, or if they put a folder to your name, it is okay. But out of the probably 100 plus people that I send mail to, there is always 2 or 3 people who respond to me and say that, I want more users from my team to be added to the mailer list. So that marks the victory of what you're doing. Talk, communicate, send communication mail, send marketing mail saying what you've done new with your website, because even a small appreciation mail from somebody outside makes a lot of impact on the team that is working towards making it. And some of the other points that you would like to think about is identify your audience and decide on the access for your members within and outside your organization. Not every content on their website has to be visible for all. Plan upfront as to what you want to open up and what you do not want to open up to the third world. Work with your security and your privacy team. This cannot be underemphasized today, because the minute you go on cloud, hacking is a reality, cybercrime is a reality. So especially if you're working on a company like me, where we want to keep our website within the user credentials, not open to the third world, not open to the world wide web, then set up stringent security protocols and hacking protection. Have work closely with your security teams to ensure that you check regularly for vulnerabilities involved, and have appropriate disclaimers, copyrights, and terms of use written and signed off by your legal teams. And before you start any exercise, plan your budget, keeping everything else in mind, and get it signed off from your company management. When you're working on a project of this size, having a flexible budget really makes your day. Get the right people involved, and don't hesitate to take some help. These are some of the tools and toys that I use as part of my technical writing journey. My team uses Madcap Flare for authoring. We are also seriously looking at Drupal as an option today. Our content is hosted in our content is controlled by kept and maintained in SVN. We use SVN as our version controller and repository. The website is hosted in Azure. The website is designed out of HTML and CSS. We've used Jenkins for automation, and for this website, the technical writing effort was around 3,000 plus man days, not including the the product effort. So what is our story now? Our website is hosted on Azure. It's a HTML, CSS based website. We continue to author in Madcap Flare, though we are exploring Drupal as an option. We have automated our publishers and packaging using Jenkins. And we have a custom built curated search that has been added to our website, which is now really making the life of our users easy. So that's on the context. I'll quickly move to the website part. Now, before I actually show you what is the new website that we have at the moment, I will like to just show you what did we have before this. What you're looking on the screen is the website that we had before, before we went live with our new website. So this was the homepage or the landing page of the website earlier. And
if you are sharing your website, then we are unable to see it. We are seeing the presentation.
okay, let me just quickly disconnect and share again. Now?
Yes, we can see your website.
Yeah. So this was the previous website we had. This was the home page, and I've changed my window. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. This was the inside pages of the earlier website that we had. It's a very simple and straight layout. But like I said, we had other issues with this website. Now from this, this is where we moved into. This is the current website that we have as part of the Temenos official documentation. Quickly walking you through the website. At the top, we have the various products that for which we have documentation as part of this website. These are the various products that Temenos has as part of their kitty. And we've split it into two, which is the business documentation and the technical documentation, or the technology platforms over which our product is built. These are the business documentation, and these are the technological platform documentation that we have. We have the resources tab where we have linked this website to all the other resources that are there as part of Temenos. We have various other websites which are running as part of the Temenos's documentation and community effort. So we have links from our website to all the other websites of other resources of Temenos. We have a download section from where the clients, or from where, sorry, the internal users can download the packages of the content that is present in this website. This option will not be visible to clients and partners who are logging in with their client IDs. The other releases tab basically walks you through the older releases. Our mantra is usually current minus 3. So we have the current release, which is live on the website, and then we have the 3 earlier releases that are there in this website. There's a login and logout mechanism. I will come to this search in a little later. We have the what's new, which talks about the release highlights of the various products that we have. These are the various products where we have the release highlights. Um, this is further broken down into the next page briefly lists upon the key features that are there for a particular product. Then there is a PDF which talks in detail about the release highlights of each of the months release. As you can see, they're aligned over the month. We have PDFs and some of the other tabs which are very unique. We have the installation guides, we have some videos, and we have other tabs which are very unique to our documentation. These are some of the products that we have. We have broken down the website into based on the various products that we have, and the technology tab lists the various technological platforms for which we have documentation. We basically followed a 3-tier or a 3-page structure where we have the landing page, we have a second page, which breaks the products down into various modules, as we call it. And then we have the third page, which caters to the feature functions, as we call it, of the modules. So the second page basically lists the various modules within the products that you saw in the first page. Now there is a quick filter here. Should you want to, if you know what you're looking for, if I try retail, then it just lists me the modules where this content is available instead of I having to go through the entire entire set of them. If I also want to navigate directly to a section, I just click here, it takes me to that section. This is the second page where it lists all the various modules that I mentioned about. Then this basically has the installation guides, the update guide, security guide, subfamily. There is no restriction on what kind of content that goes here. It basically depends on what kind of content is available to the to what kind of content is relevant for this particular product. Then we have the third page where we have broken down those modules into various feature functions. The feature functions are are aligned in the TOC, but they're designed in a way that that will be very logical for a bank user in terms of his day-to-day usage. We have the TOC. We have tried to bring in some amount of predictability into the TOC, where we have a set of subheadings over which these are grouped, but not restricted to, because in the case of a business content, we thought that this predictability is very important. Whereas in the case of our technical content, we chose to deviate from it, and we found that the data style of writing helps better. So we chose a data style of writing. So the bottom line is decide what works for your content and choose the structure and layout accordingly. Don't restrict it to any particular format that you would think work. There's no one working solution for all types of content. So we've tried to bring in some kind of stylings and some ease of navigation here. For example, there is a TOC here, but should you have a lot of subheadings in the page, this quick link section quickly takes you to that particular part of the page. Go up. There is an expand collapse with feature that we have. Uh, and There is a share. There is a share option if you want to share this page to through mail to somebody. There is a print and download as PDF option. Uh, Dark mode, which helps you read better, and uh, we've also tried, instead of using the usual legend styling, we've also tried to add some styles, but given a site a hover over kind of effect to say what these styles are. Well, they'll tell you that this is the field name, this style is actually the application name. We in Because of the volume of the documentation, the images tend to be it tend to add a lot of size to the documentation, which makes the pages longer. So we've basically given an icon effect to the documentation, and when you sorry to the pictures or the images, which on clicking out will pop out. If you want to expand them, you can expand them. You can scroll down, read through the images, and you can close them. All these are basically features that are available as part of Madcap Flare, but we just used our designers' help to enhance them a little better. In the case of APIs, we decided to go in more with a Swagger style, where we have aligned ourselves with to the usual API style that is there for Swagger. We have a copy option where you can copy your code and go to Notepad or Notepad++ and paste it. And uh, you can search from anywhere within the site, and it'll take you to the search page. So the search page is again designed in such a way that when you search for a particular content, it tells you the possible combinations where this match of what you're looking for is available. Let me just go a little better. I'll say retail accounts. Then I get a search saying that retail accounts is you have 2,427 instances of retail accounts in Transact. However, it will also list the top matches or the 100% matches at the top with highlighting. Should you want to drill this down further or you want to refine the search further, you just click on them. Then it tells you the various modules and the number of matches of that keyword that you're looking for. You can drill this down further and you can say, I want to see retail accounts within deposits. Then it says in this function, in this feature function, you have 110 instances of retail accounts. This is there is a three level of drill down in the search that the website offers to. Then finally, it's the feedback. The feedback, it's a very simple feedback. We did have an elaborate feedback, but we felt that the users were getting more lazy or tired of giving us feedback. So we chose to keep it very simple. What do you think of this content? You can give a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you give a thumbs up, we'll give you 3 simple reasons why you think our content is easy. You choose one of them. If you give thumbs down, then you can tell us why you think it's a thumbs down. You can also add a comment. If you want to add a screenshot, you can add and you can give a submit. From the cache information that we collect the user information of who dropped us the feedback. We don't want the user to, we didn't want to put the user through filling his details. So there is anyway a login process. So from the cache that is collected based on the login details, we collect the URL and the name of the user from whom the feedback is being given, and then this is directly tied up with one of our inboxes at the moment, and from there we reach out to the user for further clarification. So that's pretty much on the demo and the website. I'll be open to questions at the moment.
Thank you, Shanti. I think people are very impressed by seeing some of the comments. So any questions, people, for Shanti?
Very neatly organized website and content.
Thank you.
And very good features as well.
Thank you so much. API content is not generated by Flare. API content is generated by Swagger, from where we use the Swagger editor to take the JSON output, and then we use it. We put it into the Flare window and publish it as HTML pages. For internal doc review, are you able to create an environment where multiple reviewers are able? Yes, we have a dev platform. What I showed you is basically the production website, which is the live website. We also have a dev platform, which is very internal to the users and to the business analysts and subject matter experts who are working on this. So in fact, our review process is such that even though people share Confluence documents for editing, the only after the BA looks at it from the dev platform, which is the exact replica of this site, and says it is good to go. It is published into the live site. Was this front page of the doc created in HTML and added to Matcap's source? Yes, the front page was created using HTML, CSS, and Flare was linked to this.
Great.
Thank you.
I think we have covered all. Any other question, people?
Okay.
Great then. Thank you so much, Shanti. And in case
Thank
people
you.
have more questions,
I have one question. Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi Puneet. Hi Shanti. Just want to know, how did you integrate this Swagger APIs in your website?
So there is a Swagger editor which creates a JSON file at the backend for you. So you have to take the JSON file, and then the Flare editor offers you an option to attach the JSON file, and then it gets published into the content. Link it to your TOC and then the usual process.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ranjit.
That's an eye opener actually.
Okay, thank you, Shanti, and thank you for the
Thank
great
you.
session. Okay, and now team, we will move on to the next session. So before I announce about the next session, yes, I am aware we are running a bit royally late, 15-20 minutes late, but overall, considering the time frame of one, we should be packing before that, so don't worry. And I'm sure every bit of these sessions are fun and learning for you, so you don't mind 15-10 minutes being late. So moving on to the next session, which will be by Suhail. So Suhail is the manager of user assistance right now at Hexagon Capability Center, Hyderabad. Suhail, you can start sharing screen. In the meanwhile, I'll just introduce you. Suhail has over 15 years of experience at present working with Hexagon, and he is working with Hexagon since December 2012. And apart from that, of course, he has a huge experience in many other companies also. You can follow him on LinkedIn. So he will be discussing today about the website for product and API documentation. Over to Suhail.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Before I start my presentation, let me give a brief of what Hexagon is and the division that I work for. Hexagon is into multiple platforms, into automation, into the oil and gas industry, products related to oil and gas industry, and precision management and satellite navigation. And if you know 911, the routing of emergency calls, one of the products that caters to that is Hexagon's own product. So the division that I work for earlier was called as Power Process and Marine. Now it has been renamed, rebranded to ALI, which is
Any issues, Suhail? We lost you. Looks like network issue. Well, let's wait for him to return. So looks like Suhail might need a minute or so. In the meanwhile, if I can know from the audience, is there someone whose team has got the opportunity to actually create documentation site from scratch?
Hi, Puneet. Meenal here. We are actually moving. Yeah, we are actually moving, right now to cloud. So we are kind of creating everything from scratch. I mean, whatever we have right now, we are moving into using, we are moving to cloud. So we are in the process right now to do that.
Oh, wonderful. Anandya also says, yeah, great.
Yes, Puneet, Anjana here, and we are also in the process of revamping the documentation, entire documentation into Confluence, and then moving it into an online help.
Awesome.
Hi, Puneet. I'm
Yes,
sorry, there
Sunil,
was
you're back.
some network issues
No,
at my
please
place.
go ahead. I was just trying to keep everyone talking till then.
Thank you for that. Um, Let me share my presentation again.
And in case there is network issue, you may stop sharing your video.
Yeah, I'll do that. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So we have rebranded to Hexagon ALI, which is Asset Lifecycle Intelligence. And before we started moving to online documentation from 2019. Before that, um, our documentation was kept very confidential to our customers only, and no one could find our documentation on the web. So one of the things that we realized that our applications were desktop-based applications, and the way we gave out our documentation was through PDFs and CHMs. Yeah, I know a lot of people would not know what is a CHM. Um, and these files were the industry that we serve, which is oil and gas, power plants, and shipbuilding. We cater to this kind of industry, and the documentation that we provide with our products is huge. Let me share. So if you can see, these are the size of our documentation was huge, 21,000 KB, 16,000 KB. These were the kind of um, sizes that we talk of when we talk about PDFs and CHMs. So and we were we wanted to move on from and every time we do a release, we were using author it, and we publish it to Word and then convert it to PDF, add a few attributes to the PDF, and then send it to put it on our support site, and then customers can download from there after logging in. So we thought it was better to move on to open up our documentation to our to the world. That is when um, we we and then we wanted to also provide our customers, and the training that we provided was in-house training. Customers used to come to our office to get training, or if a customer requested, then we sent our trainers to the customer premises, and then we gave the training. So we wanted to open up our documentation, then provide more useful information like videos and trainings online. And we also wanted to reduce the manas required to at the time of the releases. So that is when we looked into a lot of softwares that provide online documentation, and platforms that provide documentation, and then we picked Fluid Topics. We have two sites. One is an internal site, internal doc site, only for the internal employees, specifically the writers, where we have access to the product documentation as well as to the Writers Hub, which is our platform for guidelines that users have to follow. And this is the site which we publish to first before we go for production to see how it works. And then this is the site that we share with the QA and the stakeholders for them to review the documentation and then give feedback. And this is a production site open to all. You can register yourself or you can access it even without registration. Um, uh, we have our videos and trainings available as well. Videos are available on Vimeo and then linked to our documentation. And for training, we have recently started working on training for our products, the ALI products, and it is on a website called Hexagon University. And this is the list of products that we have for Hexagon ALI. And when we go into any of these products,
see your website. Are you sharing your website?
Let me share. Okay. This is the internal doc site that I was talking of, which is a platform for the writers as well as the QA and the different stakeholders. Only people who are Hexagon employees can access this, and we share this with the QA and other writers for other stakeholders for getting the feedback. And this is our external website open for all. This is hosted by Fluid Topics and managed by Fluid Topics themselves. And these are the list of products available under Hexagon ALI. And if you select a product, you go into the different documents available for the product. You can search for a specific product. And then find out the different books, the documents available for a feature or a sub-product. Or you can refine using what kind of document are you looking for? Are you looking for help? Are you looking for installation or upgrade? Or if you are you looking for administration or configuration document? You can filter it out. And documentation is available for the current version of the product plus -3, -2 and -3, depending on what we have. So you can select which version you want to have a look at and then click on the document and you get to access the information. And if you are looking for a key feature, then you can type in here. So back to the results. And in the home page of the documentation, we have links available for the videos on Vimeo. Again, on Vimeo, we have hosted our all the videos based on product. So we have collections. Smart Cloud, you can select a product and then look for all the videos available for a specific product. And we also have added, if we have a new release that has recently been launched, then we add it under the news and noteworthy items. And we have all our training material available on Hexagon University. Again, users can log in, register themselves, and then access the training for different products. So this is the Hexagon AI, university.hexagon ALI is our website for the training material that we are developing for different products. As one of the key features that we have is looking into analytics for our documentation site. We get access to, we get to look at information related to, this is a report that is prepared for the documentation site for the quarter. We can look at number of users who have been logging in each month. Then what were the topics that were looked at? How many page views were that have happened? And how much feedback has been given by the users? How many books were printed to PDF? Personal books created. Um, One thing I forgot to share is I have a flexibility here to create my own book. I can go to any of the book. I can look for, and then I can share the URL with someone in my team. I can print it or I can send feedback. Once the feedback has been clicked, any email is generated and sent to the team, and we have people looking into the feedback, and then based on the product, the feedback has been left. The product team the mail is forwarded, or a Jira case is created for the documentation team. Let me sign in. So I can bookmark a topic, I can share the URL, or I can add it to a personal book. I can select the topics in listed in the book, any of the topics, and then I can save it. I can create a new personal book. Then I can move to a different book and select different topics again and add it to my book. And then I can share the book, my personal book, with the people in my team. Again, I am picking out topics from a different book, and I'm selecting the which book I want to add it to. I can print the book, the entire book, create a PDF out of it. Go to my library, my personal books. And then I can share this book as well. Download it as a PDF or share the link with people. Can copy it and share it with my colleagues. So this is about sharing of books and printing it to PDF. Going to analytics. So these are different analytics that are available. We have number of document views that have happened in December, number of topic views that have happened, most viewed documents. This is a list of most viewed documents. Then we can look at where the users have been logging in from, how many users have logged in to look at the documentation, how many sessions have happened, and I can look at if I can look for specific documentation as well. For example, my product is smart materials, and I am looking for 10.2 version, and then I apply. So these are the different books for 10.2 which were viewed by people. These are the number of views, and I can select a date range, and I'm looking at only for one single month. You can look at past 3 months. I can download this information and then use it for a presentation to the management. So I can look at the traffic by country, where have the users logged in from different parts of the world, and which browsers they have used. This might not be useful for us, but yeah. So number of sessions in different months, number of API calls made. So we have a range of different analytics that we can look at, and then take a call. We can, if people are looking for a specific document or a specific topic repeatedly, then we can go back, take a look at what we can improve so that the content that is available for the users is helpful. So that is all I have for today. Do you have any questions? Let me open it up for questions.
Thank you, Suhail. This was very nice, and it's feel good to get a company and DocSet also associated with a big thing like 9x11 you mentioned. So as far as questions are concerned, let me just check. Okay, so I don't see any questions so far.
I
A
have
lot
a
of
question,
pages. Yeah.
Puneet. Hi Suhail.
Hi.
So all this is created using Authorit?
Yes, the way we do it is we go we use Authorit. We have been using it for quite a long time now. We publish it to Fluid Topics, and then a zip file is generated. We place a zip file in the Fluid Topics folder, and then Fluid Topics takes care of publishing it to the site.
No, that analytics thing. How did
Analytics is
you
provided by
incorporate
Fluid
that?
Topics.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thanks.
Any other question for Suhail?
That Vimeo thing was also really good. Thanks for.
Yeah, Vimeo. We use Vimeo for hosting our videos. We have a second product, and each product has its own video. So, and then we also embed them in our documentation.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you so much, Suhail. And you have some nice comments for your session in the message box that you can check. So thank you for taking our time. Thanks,
Thanks
Suhail.
for the opportunity, Puneet.
Yeah. Okay, so we move on to the last session for the event today, and this is coming from Manisha Singatkar in collaboration with Khurshid Alam. So this is about the security documentation, and so she will be providing you the detail in popular in company's name. You must have heard about their company, and at least those who are watching the Shark Tank India, probably they will see the sponsors also. So that's one aspect. Now about Manisha, she is a versatile technical writer with 13 plus years of experience in tech docs, developing and posting tech docs, technical documentation for enterprise level software products such as Security Enterprise Suite and Hawk Security Cloud Site. And Khurshid and Manisha are working at Quick Hill Technologies. Khurshid is the team lead there. So welcome, Manisha and Khurshid. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome. Good afternoon. I'm Manisha Singatkar from Quick Hill Technologies. So I will be presenting SecureWrite and Quick Hill doc portal. So can you see my screen? Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So what is SecureWrite? SecureWrite is the enterprise arm of cybersecurity products and solutions company that is Quick Hill Technologies. SecureWrite cybersecurity solutions help organizations secure their endpoints, data, networks, and users across geographies. Founded in 1995, the company embodies Make in India, covering end-to-end cybersecurity solutions. So as you can see on the screen, our security products are for different types of devices. That is for the Android phones, that is for desktops, that is for laptops, that is for endpoints and home devices as well. As unified threat management is for the security of home devices, SecureWrite Endpoint Security Cloud is for endpoints and laptops. MSUIT and Total Security is for Android phones, desktop. For desktop, we have Quick Hill Total Security. For network devices, we have Hawk Protect Range. So some of the products only I have displayed here. Why? Because the technical documentation for all these products has to be displayed. So the different UI needs to be supported for a range of products. So that was our challenge, how to display this documentation. Earlier, our documentation was created in RoboHelp. We were creating online help with the help of RoboHelp and the PDF guides, the admin guides. So the requirement was like this. We at Quick Hill is technical writer team of 4 technical writers. So whatever we have done is done by 4 technical writers only. So I appreciate our efforts because only we 4 have done all these things. Thanks to my team members as well for all these efforts. So the first thing was the help folder, which was created with help of RoboHelp. It was increasing. It was integrated in the build of the product, and it was increasing the size of the product. So that was one of the issues we were facing. Second is we make so much efforts for creating the documents, and we really don't know who are reading the documents, what is the feedback of the documents, is the user facing any issues, as we have seen the feedback analysis in previous presentations as well. So that is always a concern. We can't track the usage of document. So we need to do that. Then second, SDLC and DDLC integration was always a challenge. As the document was integrated in the build, so whenever a change is there in any document, the build has to be created afresh, and again everything has to be tested and created, and the man hours and the time has to be consumed. So that was one of the issue. And as our spread is globally, so the technical documentation has to be translated in many languages: Japanese, Korean, Spanish. So the localization cost was very high. So we as a technical writer team came up with the solution of a doc portal. We suggested to the organization that we should go for the doc portal, and we put this idea to the management that we would go for the doc portal. So what was the process of this doc portal? So we explored how can we go about this. So we searched for many CMS in the market. And after searching for many CMS and the turnkeys for that, we finalized the most suitable platform for our doc portal. So we identified the most suitable platform, that is the WordPress CMS. We finalized. Why? Because of the cost effectiveness and the plugins it was providing. So we have identified plugins also. The DocPress is providing the plugins. So which plugins we have used? The DocPress plugin is the main plugin we have used for the doc portal, and the other plugins during demo I'll talk about that. Then second thing is approvals, purchase, and the setup of our WordPress. We have purchased the domain name and hosting of this, and we installed on 4 of our team members, and then training of this WordPress to all of us, and practicing of WordPress and Markdown editor. So that is being done. Then designing. So we have created template of home page and help pages. How the home page of our doc portal SequaRite and Quick Heal will look, what will be the logos, what will be the font, what was the template. So DocPress helped. DocPress plugin used us to create the template for this. As I said, we have come up this website from scratches. So I'm telling you the process in detail. Then the development, the content was already with us in terms of Word documents and in RoboHelp. So the migrating content from Word docs to WordPress was a big task. It was really time consuming. So we did that, and the formatting was a little bit issue, but we did that. Then hosting the website with help of the web team. The web team, we required help of web team. Not only the technical writing team is involved in this, the web team in our organization also helped in this for hosting and for designing of the homepage. So thanks to the web team as well. Then comes the publishing of online help. So when the release is done, when the release of the product is done, then the publishing of online help is being done. And not only online help is done, we have integrated release notes and other corresponding documents as well on the doc portal. Let me go through the doc portal. I'm sharing home page of my doc portal. Can you able to see this?
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, Manisha.
Yeah. So see, this is our SequaRite portal, SequaRite documentation portal. So this is the link, https://docs.sequarite.com. Docs is the link. This portal is open for everybody. Anybody can land on this page, and they can go through on this page. This is the home page. So the product list is displayed over here. So currently we have 12 products for which the online help is available on this homepage. So as you can see the product name over here, the logo over here, the product name, and the description, small description of the product, and how many pages are there on this in this product is been displayed here. So you can go to any product and you can see the online help on this. We have a language icon also here and theme icon also there. Here is a list product. Here is a list also. You can select as well from this list. You can select product from these also. So for this, the web team has helped us for this. So let me go through the product which I am working on. So see this. This is the online help for the product I am working with. So SequaRite Endpoint Security is the product of online help of this product. So as you can see, the navigation as the traditional online help. So the navigation is in the left pane. It is two level headings. So like this, 1 level, 2 level, and even 3 level navigations we have provided. The corresponding page is displayed in the right pane. the themes are there. You can go to dark or light theme as per your choice. The plugin is helped in this. So print option is also there. So it can be printed as a PDF, or you can print, or you can have a PDF, or you can email this. So plugin is also used in this. You can see the breadcrumbs are there, and this is the in this way the page is available. We have migrated content from our Word documents here. Also, here you can go to next page and the previous page. And was this page helpful? The feedback is also kept in there. One thing is there also that you can search a word from this. If I type Linux, for example, so the pages on which in the help of SecWrite endpoint security, only those pages will be displayed here. So on which the Linux page, Linux word is available. So this is the search is as per the product. It's not for the whole website. So only for the particular product, these pages will be displayed. And here we can localization, as I said, the localization is also there. We can select language from here, and I can translate this to different language. For example, I am translating this to Italian. So you can see the Italian content is there, and it is the translation is at per par as well. So the translation is in Korean. So this is the one of our website. This is SecWrite website. Additionally, as it's not of the online help, but we have provided the guides as well for the product. It is a digital library of the product. So online help is also there, but we can download PDF guides also for the products. So like patch management guide, quick start guide, OBA deployment guide, even the admin guide, the whole admin guide I can download from here, or I can see the guide. Like for example, quick start guide. So quick start guide appears over here. You can go through this and you can download from here as well. And even release notes are all release notes are also available for the products. So you can see the release notes as well as you can download these. So let's go to one more, any product, for example, cloud. So in this way, we have different products, and we can include images as well. We have included images. We can use cross references, and it's comfortable to use this product. Then another portal is QuickHill. The similar thing. Okay, this is QuickHill. These are the QuickHill products we have displayed over here. Similar thing, it is been listed. Here you can select product from here as well. You can go from here, and similar thing. Okay, there is a navigation, and the corresponding page is displayed over here. And you can leave a comment if you are logged in user. You can post a comment to write a comment in this. So next thing is what are the benefits? Like what benefits we can you see my slide? Can you see my slide?
Yeah.
So the benefits, what are the benefits while migrating to this doc portal. What doc portal gave us? So first thing is the cost effectiveness. As you all know that whatever authoring tools we are having, it will be approximately worth 1 lakh per user per annum, something like that. But this WordPress had given us comparatively very low pricing for this. Only host name and domain name we have to pay for that. So any organization which can go for like who can experiment like this with very the number of technical writers are limited, so they can go for this on experiment basis. Also you can do all these things. And for this, as this is not integrated in the build, these are two separated entities. Our uh, documentation portal and the build, they are separated, so no builds are required in this. Only as soon as the release is updated, we publish the website. Then you can see my screen, right?
Yes, Manisha,
Yes, yes.
your slide is visible.
Yes. And next thing is our help is immediately available to all the people. It's not necessary to log in to the product and go to the product, click on help icon, nothing like that. The customers, customers as well as the end users or who are all interested in our products, the immediately our online help is available. And as it is a security company, we have done very much analysis before making it live. So it is, we are proud of that. Our website is available for everybody. Then localization cost is saved. As I have showcased you the translation, so the localization cost is saved to 80%. So the people, the other team is happy with us. And then this gives one more advantage, that is the doc team visibility. So the website is there, and we four people are visible now in the organization. So that is in our, that is an achievement. Then it gives the insight about the documentation. As we said, we never know who are reading our documents, what comments they are putting on. So Google Analytics, this we have used this Google Analytics plugin, and we can get the data session wise and page wise count, top posts, pages, number of visitors. So yeah, so I can just show you some analytics. So can you see the screen of general reports?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. So this is insight, and this is the page views or session views and page views. I can view how many pages and sessions have been viewed, and returning visits, device breakdowns, then what top post pages are being visited. So I can go, I can visit this, I can give this details to the management also, like 22-year in a review. So I can just show you this, these many visitors and demographics also, and who have all visited our pages. And comments come here, and I can see the comments and then reply to the comments as well. So this insight helped us a lot about regarding improvement our documentation. So this was the uh, walkthrough of our both of our documentation portal. So we face few challenges also for this. So first thing was the learning curve, learning WordPress and then putting the content into WordPress. We have some formatting issues. The formatting options are available. Global changes occur, means if I want to change change color of any title, it will be globally occurred. And the table formatting or ordered list or unordered list, the limitations are really limited in these things. The review process has become very tedious and need to do rework, because as the website is live, I can't do online review on this. So if any new features comes, I need to write in the Word doc format, plus then take the review from the SMEs, finalize it, get it sign off, and after the release, I need to upload that document on the portal. And this has to be done after the release as well. I can't do it before the release. So there is some stretching after the release. I do it in the draft mode, but still I need to take care to release it after the release only. And a little bit dependency is on the web team for hosting, and for some backend things, I need to depend on the web team, but they are cooperative and our site is working well and we are getting good response for this. So this was our story of doc portal. We four people with WordPress has created this doc portal, and we are proud of it. So that is all from my side, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present our doc portals over here. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Manisha. This was very informative. Thank you so much. So let me just check if we have any questions. Okay, Anindya has this question. Were you able to get some single source or content reuse capability from WordPress, or is that capability baked in within, oh God, wait, within the authoring environment? Repeat, were you able to get some single sourcing or content reuse capability from WordPress?
I'm not able to see this.
You will have to scroll up a bit, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
We don't have this. We don't have this. We can explore this capability. It's still now we don't have this single sourcing.
Please.
Khurshid, do you need to add anything to this?
Okay. So see, regarding reusing of content, we cannot do that. Okay, because we are creating single pages, and we are using that page in that product only. So because obviously there is breadcrumb and all those things. So like in any traditional authoring tool, we cannot use as a single source.
Okay. Great, thank you, Khurshid. Any other questions for Manisha and Khurshid? No questions. Great. Thank you so much, Manisha, and thank you, Khurshid, also for pitching in. And this was a very informative one, of course, considering their resources and all the challenges. This is what
Yes.
actually we
Yeah,
want to
actually, this was our initiative, because the management did not ask us to do this. So there was a requirement like who is miss all the time. People used to say that who is reading this document? We are clueless about this. So this, that, everything. So means we had curiosity about this to track the metrics. So we brought out this. Now we are in a clear picture, like who is visiting our website and who is seeing which pages more often.
And how do you guys include this dark and light theme? Is it functionality from
Okay.
WordPress?
No. Actually, WordPress is just a CMS. Okay, where you can actually this opens a wider scope to use plugins for your goals. So for example, for translation, you have one plugin. For theme changes like color, day and night, so you have one plugin. For printing, you have one plugin. For sharing, we have one plugin. So that means you can use plugins for your goal, and you can simply integrate whatever you have in WordPress. because WordPress actually is capable of that. And
Okay.
we actually in first demo we included so many things like sharing this, that, blah blah blah. So every other members actually showed so many things. Okay, so we had almost everything. So from senior management they said that we should for the time being reduce these things for now, and later on if required we will be adding.
Thank you, Khurshid.
Welcome.
Thank you, Kurshi. That was very useful.
And typically here I would request all members that if anyone needs to go with this system, so they are welcome to contact us. We would be happy to help in this regard.
That's so nice of you. Wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Awesome.
you
Hey,
so
Kurshan,
much
I
for
have a
saying that.
question.
Yes.
I have a question for analytic purpose. What plugin did you guys use?
Okay. Actually, we are basically using Google Analytics. And in fact, in Google Analytics also there are so many plugins. So we have picked up Monster inside.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
I think going by the questions here also and at other forums also, finding analytics and the right kind of data, probably one such session we need later.
Correct. Correct.
Many
Right.
people, many are rightly interested in
Actually,
that.
yes, actually, there are three things. We can capture comments, feedback from readers. Okay, one is that feedback like or dislike, means was this content helpful? This is one of the ways. Another is that we have a comment box, so you can log in and send comments, and we really received so many comments, and there were so many things other than technical content as well, like some installation is not working or renewal is not working. So we shared that information to our support team. They reached them, the customers, directly and resolve them. So this was a helpful way. Actually, we created one arm to reach to the customers. And another thing was that we are viewing insight, like which pages are being used more often. And we can include as like if you have a single page, a longer page, then we can include the analytics like until what level people read and left, so that we can understand, okay, whether we should create shorter content or longer content or what.
That's amazing. That is, I think, one of the core thing we should try to learn from analytics.
True.
Great. Okay, one last time. Any more question for Manisha and Khurshid? Great. So I think we're done. Thank you so much, Manisha and Khurshid. This was very informative. And thank you all, Shanti, Anupma, Suhail, Gaurav, all of you. You have made our day. This was certainly amazing piece of information from all of you, and I'm sure it's going to help everyone. And for information of all, there is a spreadsheet shared in the chat. So whomsoever has shared public doc sites, not the internal, I have not included internal doc sites, public doc sites that shared in a spreadsheet. In case yours is missed, feel free to add. But the only request is don't just add from Google. Anybody can find that. If you're working in that company, then only add it, please, with your name. So, and we did try to keep a discussion session, but already we are running so late, but still we can take opportunity for 5 minutes. In general, audience here, do you have any general question about doc website? We can talk for 5 minutes and then we can break for lunch.
Hi, Puneet. I have one question regarding mini TOC. So we saw wonderful websites. So I was just interested to know if you're aware of any website or any company that uses mini TOC. Like some
Mini
documents are
POC
quite
means
uh, mini TOC in like usually TOCs in the
For the topic,
left hand
for
left hand
the
side.
topic,
Yeah.
right, right. Yes,
Yeah.
there are multiple
Yeah.
websites. If you're using Flair for creating, it also provides. There are other tools also. Khurshi, do you want to add, or somebody else also wants to add?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Please,
please.
Kaushal. Please, Kaushal. Go ahead.
Okay, so the thing is that if you have so many mini contents already there, then only this case may happen, and there are other tools as well available for that. But particularly as we are also using that, and mini TOC is being created inside that main um, heading. Okay, so that is enough. Particularly we have that. Okay,
Yeah,
and
somebody
someone
else
else.
was also adding.
Yes.
Yeah, so we do that in ServiceNow. Generally, we call it as chunking of topics. So we create a mini TOC, what you call on the right side navigation part at the top page, and the similar topics or maybe a child topics which already align to that topics are generally listed down there. So
Okay,
if you have questions or tools, so we usually work on Oxygen XML data. So they provide that feature of adding those chunkings.
yeah, even we use the same thing, data oxygen. But my question is like, how do we segregate that on a website? Like we do mapping in data in
Yes.
oxygen, but on website, how do we represent it?
Represent as in?
Like, do we have to do something in the some plugins in the back end, or maybe some CSS changes to do that, to show that mini TOC on the right hand side on the website?
See, Shanti here. Mini TOCs were basically aimed when we were more venturing on PDFs and not on websites. Now, in websites, the concept of mini TOC is what others have converted into in this topic or relevant topics or quick help. The concept of mini TOC is what has been converted into quick help or in this topic and things like that, which they use on the other side of the TOC. There is usually a main TOC on the left side, or people usually have a right side where they give you links to the other sections, the consequent sections in the site, which was mini TOC in PDF. So when you are trying an HTML and an online content, I would suggest that you try things like this instead of sticking to the traditional name that mini TOC.
For
Okay,
example,
thank you
yeah,
everyone. That was
for example, you have some examples in this here also. Chat also, Gaurav has provided. Docs service now is there in the sheet, and of course, there are many other websites. Okay. Okay, so that was a good question. Okay, one last question we can take. We have 4 minutes left. Anybody?
Yeah, I have a question. So it comes down to my product. So in ServiceNow, I work within CSM product. So what we are facing right now is in the past like 3-4 years, our product has grown massively, and because of that, there is restructuring problem that's happening. So in our team internally, we are planning in on a small project where we are trying to restructure things, but we are confused as in how we should restructure our current uh, domain or our product, as in whether it should be the different sections, like what normal sections we include are exploring, configuring, using, and a reference section. So should we go like that, or should we list in terms of the number of applications that CSM has? So just wanted to cater it to the bigger audience to get their idea on if they have faced similar situations like that.
So Gautam, is it? Gautam asked the question.
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing that I would suggest is having gone through a very similar situation where we had, like I said, 100,000 pages and 12 products which had to be moved into a website, which also involved massive restructuring. It was not only a technical writer effort, but instead we had many one-on-one and group sessions with the higher product management, who have a bigger visibility into the business consumption. How is your product consumed by your client? That will decide the structure of the document. Say, go by your marketing list or go by your price list, for example, to understand how your products are consumed by your client. Then, based on how it is consumed, break it down into break it down into high level chunks. Once you put the high level chunks, from there drilling down becomes slightly easy. But instead of attempting it as an exclusive technical writing effort, I would say get your top management who have a good business perception into all these things to give you a functional breakdown possibility.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And think we are in a we are moving towards the right direction, because we have already had a couple of discussions with our outbound PMs who are directly linked to the external users for getting their insights, as well as the marketing team and the sales team, that how they are catering our that CSM project to the end user. So yeah,
Exactly.
thanks a lot for your advice. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll
So
move ahead in that direction.
yeah, so in my case, we didn't stop with the project managers. We went till the product directors and even to next in department heads for that sake. And we worked with the business guys, the business and sales guys, and the marketing guys. These are the three areas we took. We brought back those ideas again to the product heads, and because there is always one reality with the marketing and one reality with the sales, which is never aligned with the product department. So bring back those realities, or what they call as reality, to the product management, because they are those who actually deliver you the products. You're going to be getting your material from them, not from the marketing, not from the sales. They are the window to the clients. So get those perspective to the product, but work with them closely to give, put the high level structure.
Sure. Thanks a lot for the advice.
Okay, so it's time now. So I'm sure people are willing to have more chat, but it's already time, and so we will have to say bye right now to all of you. You can join the Telegram group and feel free to talk there. For a spreadsheet, I'll check the access and I will modify it. Anyway, I am going to share that in the email so you can access from that. So thank you to all the presenters and thank you to all the participants. It was a great start for us. Learned a lot, seen a lot. And so I will call it as DocSite Fair, session 1. Soon we will be having session 2 also. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, Puneet.
Thank you, Puneet.
Thank you.
And you, Kaputi,
Thank you,
ma'am.
everyone. Have a good day.